Hey friends, in today's video, I'm going to do a map breakdown of Pacifica for Trials of Osiris. The reward this week is the Igneous Hammer, so short answer, should you get it? Yes. Long answer, you can flip the mouse upside down and still get a 3-tap, the bullets will bend to their head. So, yes, go get the Igneous Hammer, it's that good. While I'm loading in here, I'll very briefly go over the roles. Don't get too tunnel vision on the recoil direction because Season 22 weapons under the hood have a more deterministic recoil pattern, which means you can account for it and adjust. I think stability is the king perk on here since you can use main perks like Keep Away and Opening Shot to get some of the range back. There are other perks worth mentioning like Precision Instrument, which allow you to 3-tap an overshielded Titan and still maintain your 1-second TTK. And pretty much every perk on this column is good. Second best perk on this left column is probably Rapid Hit. A niche for Slick Draw if you're a bow swapper. Don't throw it away if it has Fragile Focus and it's your only one. Same for Encore. This gun is stacked. Even Rangefinder still has a purpose on it. If you're going a more PvE-centric gun, try to explore Heal Clip and how it works with Ember of Benevolence. And then maybe if you're farming for a really funny 7th column, Heal Clip and Golden Tricorn. Or maybe even Frenzy and some sort of Radiant interaction. Now let's go over the map. This is split between an orange and a blue side, as you can see by the color of the walls. The orange side is at a severe disadvantage in terms of getting to points of interest first, which means they have to challenge map control more often than not, which is why I advise using speed boots, or some form of speed like Icarus Dash, Shoulder Charge, Astro Sight Blink, that type of thing. You need to get to these points of interest first, so you can already be pre-scoped with the snipe as you cross, so that you're not caught in a sprint animation. And this is honestly going to take a lot of reps. You're going to take a lot of losses learning the timing and RNGing, trying to find an opponent who's good enough to punish you for being out of position that you don't know of yet. So that's what I'm going to try to help you with. So of course you want to just be using your Icarus Dash. This is your first heat check. You're going to be looking right here as you cross or holding it. If you hug this piece of cover, you have the strong side of cover, but as you can see, this art team railing right here might ruin you. But you also have this crate, so you can kind of teabag strafe into it so that they don't shoot you through the crate. On the opposite side, the blue side, they have a severe advantage, and mostly from high ground. So this is what their heat check looks like, and they can just crouch it out and walk it in. There's another one they can do is they can get to this crate right here and already be looking at the orange stairs. But if I wanted to show you a route from blue, probably the most common route, let's start from the top. So this is where the spawn is. All 3 spawns are pretty close to each other. I'll show you where the zones are in a second. This is really what that heat check looks like. And after you scope in once, you can just go and Icarus Dash again. Then once you get to this crate, you have another toolbox of options here. You can jump to chow orange stairs from an off angle. If you're ever going to slide out right here, make sure your crosshair is pre-aimed right about here because the timing times out to where a sniper can jump up and already be pre-aiming this flag location. So the flag locations are this right here, and then I'll get to outside in a little bit. Crosshair placement, pre-check. Crosshair placement again in case they jump up. A lot of Titans like to shoulder charge to this crate right here, so your radar should tell you by its opacity. The brighter red it is, they are on the same elevation as you. The more transparent red it is, the lower or higher elevation they are. And since they can't really get above you here because of the ceiling, you can assume that if your radar is transparent red, they're somewhere right here. And so that knowledge helps you decide what to do to where you can challenge orange stairs without getting deleted. And that crate right there is huge. But a lot of the time, if you use this crate, they're just going to backpedal. Also, if you're way ahead on damage, it might just be worth flying into this pit, to the orange street. Sorry, pit's over here. To the orange street to clean up the kills. Let's work again from an orange approach. This is if you want to take the stairhead glitch. Here goes that snipe that I was talking about, that you jump up and just hold it. But you need to be wary of second floor blue and the red stairs. They can run out of red stairs if they don't get the radar ping, and you might be scoped looking for blue or looking for under, and they'll just wide swing you. So from their POV, this is the power position of the map for Warlocks, for sure. You get to work the head glitch on the connector hallway. You get to rift right here and have full control over the map, as well as just jump hops. All you do is you just look for damage, maintain your health, and the second you get 3 of them weak, you start to fly out and look for those finishing picks. Let's go outside now. If this is a bit disorganized, I'm sorry, I wanted to get something out to y'all. So the zone pops up exactly right here on the power ammo. Now both inside and outside, you can get some cheeky Wither Horde placement if you really want to, but ultimately the match is going to come down to switching to conditional finality and challenging bubbles and wells as it always does. I'll talk about what I recommend here. For outside, Warlock rules it because Warlock can do Heat Rises things. And if you notice the color of the skybox, I promise you it is really, really difficult to see. So you will see Warlocks floating with a scout rifle outside to play this zone. By the way, I also think orange side is at a disadvantage when it comes to this zone too. They have to play these choke points right here. Invis can work if you want to go around. The blue side gets this box to work with. They get this upper floor and door to work with. Their radar tells them everything they need to know right here. Then you also have this more off angle right here to deal, as well as the wide angle to challenge the propane tank. From the opposite side, you might think the propane tank makes a lot of sense, maybe like pop up here. But you'll find out that if they overextend enough or jump, you're still hit by multiple sides. So don't get lured into a false sense of security at this propane tank. The next angle to be aware of is when your propane tank gamer might be pushing somebody off that ledge and then they backpedal into your snipe scope. Just get in a habit of de-scoping, get your radar, scope back in, rinse, repeat. I know it's basics, but like, it's easy to forget about the basics sometimes. Okay, let's go back inside now. I'll show you the Invis timings. So now I'm on Invis. I'm on my PvE setup, so that's why I lemon our Gear Falcon. If you're not on Frosties, you're already playing at a disadvantage with Invis because you are going to be in the sprint animation by the time a sniper is already set up. I very much doubt that the enemy team goes outside if it's an inside zone. The first place you have to check is the street, then the stairs. Your radar should tell you what's going on. This is your cover right here to keep the street off of you so you can deal with the second floor of blue. There's not really much Invis stuff you can do because they don't realistically push that connector hallway very much. But let's just say you started, you ran in. This is about where you want to start your Invis, with persistence, of course. So let me go switch to persistent. This is about where you want to start your Invis. Now you're off radar. Now you can slide, hold it down, and you might pop up where they don't expect to be looking. They might be focused on your teammates at orange stairs. That being said, not too great of an Invis spot. The next one is, of course, up top. Like, you get to orange stairs. You can use your dodge to break aim assist at this, like, crucial checkpoint. Use the box to break line of sight with blue. And just get up close with an SMG or sidearm or something like that. Maybe a fusion rifle. Now, on the flip side, the blue side, oh my gosh, you run the map with Invis here. So, you don't even have to be fancy about it. Just activate it right around here. And now you can hug the wall to read some radars, that opacity, and that kind of tells you what to do. So again, a grenade launcher, a sidearm, an SMG, a fusion rifle. Invis is a very competitive option on this map. So do not sleep on it. The final one is how to play outside with Invis. And this is where you actually can go inside for the flank. You're going to start your Invis right about here. Now you're off. Then you can slide and hold this one right here. But be very careful. If you go airborne, you are on the radar. So you really, really have to stay in a straight line so you slide down instead of out. So now on Titan, unlike Endless Veil, you don't have to be too careful about burning your shoulder charge for timing reasons. You can just burn it whenever you feel like because there's not really a point of contention where you're going to get aimbot sniped because you're already the fastest. They're not getting there unless they have a grapple. Grapple's okay on this map, by the way, but you will ultimately lose to supers, so that's why I don't recommend it as much here. Maybe this is the only one, and then you barricade here. I see that being a very, very common entry for Orange Stare Titan. Another one I see is the one I referenced earlier, where you cut the line of sight, and then you shoulder charge into these boxes, so that a second floor blue sniper doesn't hit you. Then once you're here, don't die to grenades. Look at the wall to hit lightnings. Throw an overshield if you need the vision to check on somebody type thing. You have a scatter nade to play your radar to potentially hit the stairs. I see a lot of people pre-nade orange stairs with scatter nades. They're very, very strong. I personally still like suppressor, because with suppressor, you can make really clutch plays. But there's no denying how good scatter is for a lot of these choke points, for creating an opportunity or following up any damage. Let's just see how Titan times out for the blue side, just so you can get some context. Another key shoulder charge point might be right here, so that you can kind of cut space and start playing SMG. So now the Titan outside approach, you can just pretty much hold forward here. Get right in their grill if you want to. Once you see the radar, maybe it shows 2 radar pings right here. That's your ticket to ignore them and help your team 3v1 on maybe the propane lane. Blanket recommendations for subclasses. Titans are eating really good with SMGs, considering how close you are to cover on this map and how many deadly sniper lanes there are, and this is just a match made in heaven. Eventually, bubbles go down and everybody switches to conditional. I would say swap meta is definitely a prevalent thing in trials. Everybody does it when they're trying to go flawless, so don't hold yourself back. You can get really excessive with it too if you want to on Dawnblade, switching to like Cerberus, Sweet Business, that type of thing, to break bubbles and other wells when they come up. So I think my number one recommendation is going to be Well Warlock with a 120. Second would be Bubble Titan with SMG Sniper Rifle, eventually switching to conditional. And my third would be Invis Hunter, playing like a fusion rifle or something like that. And of course, all 3 of them are going high intellect, because this is an arms race to who gets super first, so you can close out a round before they even have a chance to retaliate. Now, I wasn't too specific on this map for y'all, because this is from a solo queuer perspective. If this was a team's perspective, I would show you exactly where to stand to get a crossfire with whatever contingencies come up. But since most of y'all solo queue, this makes way more sense to get into. While I know this video was a bit disorganized, I hope it puts you in the right practice mindset for what to pay attention to, because I know a lot of us just play to play and don't really think of the outcome when mentioning these little heat check moments right here. Give you an idea of how to teach yourself whether or not you are ahead of timing, behind timing, you could have aimed better, you could have positioned better, that type of thing. It puts you in the practice mindset to make better plays in the future.